the one and only AJ McKee. There he is. Hello, AJ. How are you?
Hey, what up, Ariel? I'm doing well. How are you, my brother?
I'm doing well, my man. What's going on behind you there? Is that like are you in an office? Security cams? Is this your house?
Nah,
oh, there he is. There's trouble.
Home. Yeah.
Trouble in paradise. Hello, sir. How are you?
But it's a good trouble. It's a good trouble,
yes,
Ariel.
Yes. How are you, sir? Mr. McKee, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's great to have your son back on the show, and congratulations to the both of you on the win. Are you wearing an IFL T-shirt? That's not possible, right? Underneath there, it looks like a fist. No, Antonio. What is that? What are you wearing underneath there?
That's Monster.
Oh, okay. So
we monster on monster.
I thought it was the fist from the old school IFL logo from back in the day.
Well, that was legendary days back in the day with Chris Ordesky.
Yes,
that dude was a banger right there.
A lot of those guys.
Where's he at now, Ariel? He's all beat up in retardation.
Who's that? Chris
Ordesky.
He's in Canada. Why? You have beef with him?
No, I have beef with nobody. I have beef with the type of trauma that he took to his head at such a young age and didn't get compensated financially for that style of fighting.
That is true. Yes, that is true. I mean, that's kind of the story of every fighter, right?
No, not AJ McKee. He don't get hit.
That's
he do all the hitting, and Daddy didn't get hit either.
That's true.
I did all the grappling.
That's true. Are you? How do you feel about the? This is kind of a different direction that I thought we were going, but since you're here and you're going down this path, the antitrust, the fighters settling before it went to trial.
Are you asking me or are you asking AJ that?
I'm asking you, Antonio, because I feel like this is something a little near and dear to your heart because you're from that era.
Well, you know what? It's great, but they shouldn't have settled, and it does nothing. What's changed?
Yeah.
Nothing's changed.
Yeah.
So I basically seen a bunch of attorneys sell out.
Would you say attorneys and fighters or just attorneys?
I think it was attorneys because the attorneys took most of that money. I was in on the original lawsuit. I still have the paperwork, and the way the percentages are split. The only person that won here was the attorneys. Okay. Smart move on the UFC to settle.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right. Well, AJ, like I said, congratulations on the win. What was the experience like? And good to see you, Coach. What was the experience like in Riyadh for you? Before getting into like the whole, Bellator PFL, you guys were going head to head, but just being there for the first major MMA show, what was that like?
Man, it was phenomenal. The people out there, the culture out there, it was so loving. Just from the first step off of the plane till the end of the trip, everybody was just so embracing and loving. And I don't know, the fight world, to call that the capital, I always feel like America's kind of the capital, but they definitely value the sport. It was not as intense as fighting in Japan. I feel Japan is by far the best at like culturally loving the art aspect of the fight. But Riyadh, man, it was different. I love it out there. I can't wait to go back. Hopefully I get to go put another show on out there.
Did it feel to you like, for us, it was being sold as PFL versus Bellator, but now, I mean, you all work for the same promotion now. You all are paid by the same promotion. Did it feel like you were Bellator versus PFL? Like, were there those bragging rights among the Bellator guys, or was that all kind of just promotional talk?
I don't think it was really bragging rights, but it was definitely more of like, yo, we're going in here and we're making the example. You know what I mean? Yeah, you guys may have acquired us, but we're coming in here to show you we're still some of the baddest people on this planet, regardless what organization you fight for or who you fight for, And that's what went down. We went out there and we made a loud statement per usual.
Mm-hmm. I had heard that originally there was some talk of it being you versus Brendan Loughnane. Did you hear the same?
I don't know. There was a couple names that came through. Like I've always said, I've been willing to go down to 145 pounds. It just has to make sense, Ariel. There's no point in cutting 30 pounds for no reason. But sure. Yeah, man, you send a name, I'm going to sign the contract. I don't care who it is or what weight division it is.
Okay, so overall, how would you say the transition has been with one event under your belt? And there was obviously the Bellator event, like the full Bellator event in Belfast on Friday, which you made a cameo during the broadcast from America, of course. How would you say the transition has been from, the Viacom era to now the PFL era?
It's pretty smooth, transitioning over to PFL. at first I'm like, all right, it's all just strictly business, and then come full circle, you know, they make it a very comfortable environment. They make it very work friendly. So it's like having a second home, you know. But overall, obviously, I'm always gonna miss the people that I've worked with since the beginning of my career. You know what I mean? That's building a relationship. But the transition's been pretty smooth. It's been pretty easy overall. Those are still doing their shows. PFL's doing their shows. So I don't really know what's next. I'm trying to figure out what's next, who's next. You know, I don't really care who's next. I just want to know who's next.
So it's interesting about that because I'll be honest, I've had a lot of people hit me up. Very few of them actually want to speak on the record who have complained to me about the transition, X, Y, and Z. They don't like this. They don't like that. They're not getting the call. They're not getting as much money, et cetera, et cetera. Would you would say your experience has been the opposite? You're relatively happy with the transition.
Yeah, well, even prior to Bellator doing what or PFL acquiring Bellator, like what I had was already set. You know what I mean? So everything that's in play is in play. You know, it's just kind of finish doing what you're doing. You know, there's no real switch up besides the name for me. And obviously fight activity. Like as long as I'm fighting and we're in a frequent matches, I'm fine. I train every day. You know, I'm going to go to the gym after this, go put in some work. Don't know when the call is. Don't know when I'm going to get that fight. Don't know what weight class. But like I said, for the right fight, I'm willing to go back down to 145 pounds. If not, 155, I've got a skill set that'll hold me over in that weight division as well. And I've done well enough proving and showing that, you know. So it all has to make sense at the end of the day.
Was there any talk of you, and I was wondering if this was going to happen with you in particular, because, you know, you're such a great young fighter and you've done a lot in Bellator, to have you in the PFL tournament, the season, and have you transition over? Like we've seen now some fighters are transitioning over to PFL. Clearly, at least as of right now, you tell me otherwise, you are not because they've already put out the rosters. Was there any talk of that before the season?
No, it was never mentioned to me.
Would you like that?
Come on, man. Of course I would have liked that.
How is this possible? How is it? Why would they not put you? I mean, you'd be such a huge addition. And I know they were talking to you, right? When you were a free agent, when you were about to be a free agent.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, at 145, I don't think fighting 4 fights at 145 would be ideal anyways, especially having a career going into the 155 lightweight division as well. At 145, I feel like it's more of like super fights, you know? There's no point in me going to 145s unless I'm fighting Pineda, if I'm fighting Patricio again for the trilogy. Like, other than that, who else is there really for me to go fight?
No, but what about the 55 tournament? What about being a part of the 55 tournament?
There's not a 55-pound tournament, is there?
There isn't. It's hard to keep up if I'm being honest. But honestly, if I have,
I don't even know.
If I have AJ McKee, I make a 55 tournament around him.
I'd make a 50.
It's legit.
You're a smart man, Eric.
I'm being serious.
You're a smart man.
I've seen the people coming over, and no disrespect to them, you are the crown jewel.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So are you? So can I ask? Are you disappointed that you're not a part of that as opposed to staying in Bellator?
A little bit, but not really. You know, the way my career has been my entire life, I've always been an underdog, Ariel. We know this. I'm the only second-generation fighter out here making real noise. And stat-wise, who's doing better than me besides John Jones? Khabib? Okay, you can name legit 2 people in the world. We're talking in the entire world that have better stats than me. I don't worry about it. You know what I mean? At this point in my life, I'm just worried about securing my family's wealth and my future family's wealth. You know, one day I want to settle down. After 33, I want to get married. I want to have kids. I want to relax and just wash my hands with the fight game and pursue other goals. But at the moment, you know, it's 2024. I say it's the year of Kobe, and that's where I'm looking forward to, is being a champ again. That's what I've always worked hard to be as a champion, to be an outstanding warrior, the best of the best. So for me, this year is just about becoming a champ. However it may be, however it may come, that's my only focus this year, is having another gold strap wrapped around my waist.
Were you surprised that they kept Bellator as a separate organization and didn't just roll it all under, the PFL banner?
A little bit, but I honestly think it's smart as well. It kind of keeps a separate entity, but at the same time, it softens people up to the fact that, okay, hey, you're gonna eventually have to come full circle and watch PFL. So it gives the fans a little bit more of what they love, which is Bellator at their home in their own environment. And then coming full circle, obviously, we're going to have to step into that PFL cage, but it's kind of just prepping everyone for it.
What do you think of the show on Friday?
The one I commentated for?
Yeah. Did you feel like it was a big
sick.
difference between, this era and the previous era?
Fighter-wise or promotion-wise?
No, just like the look and feel. I mean, it was all pretty much Bellator guys on the main card, some PFL on the prelim, but just like the vibe, the look and feel. Obviously, different broadcasters, right? But I was just wondering what your perspective was, since you were such a mainstay.
I wouldn't really be able to say, because being on camera and actually being there in person is two completely different vibes.
Yeah.
And like I said, knowing everyone in the arena, knowing the whole work staff, who puts the cage together, who does this, everyone that plays their parts, it's different because I don't know who was there. I didn't get to see who was there. You know what I mean? But overall, it looked like a pretty well planned out show. It looked good to me.
Okay. What do you think of Patricio's win?
It was nice. He wants to still fight everybody besides me, so it's okay.
This is a
he
massive...
called out my boy Pico.
Yeah,
he called out my boy Pico. I didn't like that.
But I mean, I sort of correct me. I know you've just talked about 45 if the situation is right, but I just at this point kind of view you more as a 55er, so he would have to come up, right?
Nah, why not?
You want to cut that extra weight at this point?
Like I've always said, for the right fight, I wouldn't mind doing it. We know damn well he's not going to come up to 155 pounds to fight me. That's completely out the picture. Completely out. So to get the trilogy that everybody wants, if that's the match to make, I would be willing to go down to 145 pounds again. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Why has it not happened? I feel like this should have happened already.
I have no idea. I don't even care, Ariel. I've put that behind me, and I'm on to bigger and better things, which is a 155-pound title. If I could get that, that's where it's going to be. If not, like I said, the Pineda-Patricio fight was going to be a big fight for me, just to see what happens. If Pineda beats him, okay. Us joining PFL, this once again becomes two kings meeting each other to show who's the baddest man in the middle. So Pineda beats him, it gives me a reason to go claim the best and baddest 145-pounder in the world still. If he doesn't, then okay, what's up? We still got a trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
If that doesn't happen, all right, cool. Well, what's up? There's a 155-pound title that's vacant right now. Clay Collard beat the PFL champ. No, he lost to him. I'm sorry. Clay Collard lost to the PFL champ, and then he retired. So in my eyes, that match against Clay Collard was like, yo, this is pretty much showing him, like, you're going to be the champ. And then obviously you have Usman coming from Bellator and the whole tournament situation and all of that. So I don't care. Let me get this PFL belt and he could be Bellator champ, and then we come and fight for the baddest of the baddest like they did in Saudi. I think that would be something epic as well. That's the other fight. At 155 pounds, you can't make a better fight.
No, for sure. It doesn't seem like they're going to play out that tournament. How do you feel about that? I know that doesn't affect you, but I've seen some complaints regarding that.
Obviously, it's a little. I feel it's a little bummed for the guys that were in it that obviously fought and they put a lot on the line to be in that position and to continue fighting. But in regards to me, I mean, I don't think any man should have a belt with my name on it unless you actually beat me. So I was happy because, like I said, put me back in there, allow me to fight. If somebody else pulls out, if somebody gets hurt, somebody tests dirty, whatever, throw me in there. I'm ready. I was out to an injury, staph infection. I've never had staph before, but it was some nasty stuff. And I would wish that upon no one. But come full circle, yeah, man. I think maybe that's the next move, is start another tournament.
Where was the infection?
It was on my knee, my
Damn.
right knee.
And
I had 2 big holes in my knee.
oh man, was that before the last fight?
Literally, I was supposed to fight Patricky. That was the first round of the tournament. We were at Anthony Taylor's fight in Tennessee, and yeah, we were gonna leave from Anthony Taylor's fight and head over to Japan. And my dad was like, "Nah, bro." He's like, "These antibiotics, you don't understand. To fight 5-5s on antibiotics with 2 holes in your knee, it's not the move."
No.
So
yeah, we just saw Benoit Saint Denis in the UFC. He had a staph infection in his forehead a week before his fight and was on antibiotics. Gruesome stuff, and then got knocked out by Dustin Poirier. So probably made the right call there. And I'm just curious. Last time we saw Usman, obviously, was Bellator 300, and then there was a suspension. How do you feel about the story? Do you feel like it was a miscommunication? Do you have any suspicions there? How do you digest all of that?
I don't really care, honestly, Ariel. Whatever you're into, you're into. At the end of the day, it ain't gonna stop me from doing what I'm doing. And when you step in front of me, just be prepared, because you're gonna have a battle on your hands. You know, I don't really worry about what anyone else is doing. I'm more fixated on what I'm gonna do and what I'm doing. You know, everything else, like I've always said, they're just I see people as pawns in this game of chess. You know, and we just gotta continue to do what we're doing and kick ass, take names. That's what the mercenary does. That's what he's all about.
So the interesting thing about Bellator in 2024 is they've already released their entire schedule. So we know the dates. We don't know the location of the last event, but we know the dates. The next one is May in Paris, and then there's June, I believe, and then there's 2 in September, et cetera, et cetera. Have they told you at least which date you're going to be on?
No, I haven't. I haven't heard anything from anyone yet.
Okay, is this frustrating?
You know it is, Ariel.
I mean,
go out there, finish somebody in a minute and 11 seconds. I want to be back in there 2 months later, man.
I get it. But that, in fairness to them, that was a month ago, right? That was February 24th, right?
Yeah, it wasn't long. I just been enjoying snowboarding, man. I got backflips on lock now, which is sick.
Yeah, we
have X Games mode.
We have footage of this. We're showing it right now as you speak. Can I be honest with you? You fight in a cage for a living? This is absurd. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? I see you falling here on your butt a couple of times. Why would you do this to yourself? You put your body through enough.
I get bored, bro. It's better than driving 180 down the freeway, you know?
Why does it have to be one or the other? Why does it have to be one or the other?
It has to be something filled with adrenaline, Ariel. Like, it has to. So if it's not pushing me and I'm not able to live that little edge moment, trying to chase the fear factor of, like, can I do it? I can do it. Damn, I just ate it, but I still think I can do it, you know? It's always trying to push yourself and reach new heights. That's what it's about. I love to push myself.
But is that a weird one? Because, you know, clearly you have to do it over and over again, right? And if at first you don't succeed, you keep going, but like, you can hurt yourself while you're trying to succeed. Have you had any close calls in that regard?
Oh, definitely, dude. This past weekend I was up there and I face planted, literally just face planted on a rail. And yeah, I got up and tried it again.
You're not worried about this?
The risk has to be, nah, man, life is too short, Ariel. You got to just live your life and enjoy life, man. And, you know, at the end of the day, yes, I make a very well amount of money, but I mean, this sport's different, man. You know, once I'm done, there's another me right behind me. So I'm not going to not live my life to fulfill things when you know, it'd be different. Like, say if I was fighting in a month, I wouldn't be snowboarding. I don't know what I'm fighting. So I'm going to enjoy my life and just have some fun, you know, go kick it with my friends and enjoy life a little bit. You know, I've dedicated my entire life to mixed martial arts from the age of 6 years old to being 28, almost 29 now. My entire life has been revolved around wrestling and fighting. So it's cool to just get outside sometimes and take a little break and clear my mind a bit.
That's true, and I totally understand that.
In a healthy way.
Yes, of course. I was wondering how your dad feels about this, not only as your dad, but as your coach as well. Does he try to deter you from doing it?
Every time. Okay. Before the last fight, I was like, all right, Dad, I need to go up one time. I was like, I just need one time before the fight. He's like, all right, dude. I go up, and I wasn't wearing my wrist guard. I kind of post down a little bit off the 360, jam my wrist. He's like, see, I told you not to go. I was like, hey, we're good, though. We're still ready to fight. And, you know, that's all that matters. As long as I'm ready to show up on game day and fight, that's all that matters. We'll work around everything else and figure it out.
Does he go up there, too, to do this?
No, he don't like the cold at all, man. No. I've tried to pay this man to get into some cold water. I do ice baths, all that. Oh. He can't pay him enough.
Wow, even that. So forget about the snow. He won't even go into cold water.
No, he doesn't like cold water. Nor the ocean. Good luck getting him in the ocean.
Nothing. He won't even swim. Just for fun. Not even float there.
No, he don't like cold water at all.
Okay. All right. All right, so here we are. And by the way, I love that. Oh, I haven't seen that belt, the one right behind you. That's the Maximum Fighting Championship belt, right?
Yeah, that's MFC.
Yo, I haven't seen that.
Check it out. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, that is old school. Mark Pavlich. Did you go to those fights with your dad when he was champ there?
In Canada? No, I never had a chance. That's when I was in like prime wrestling, like middle school and high school days.
Okay.
So I was doing my own wrestling events and stuff.
Did you go to his UFC fights?
Well, there was only one, but yes.
Yeah, there was only one. Was it Jacob Volkman, or am I crazy? Who was the opponent?
No, that was him.
It was Jacob
Volkman. Man, yeah.
Did you go to that one?
I did.
What was that like?
It was cool. It was a good event. You know, it was a very big event. I don't remember where it was. I think it was in Vegas.
Yeah, I think so too.
More than likely, it was in Vegas, but it was a pretty sick event. I don't know. I had my own feelings about the fight, but
what are those feelings?
I thought my dad won. Yeah. I felt he won, man. But, you know, I'm daddy's boy. Of course, you always think he wins.
Respect.
You gotta feel that way.
Of course. Just curious, how many fights left on this deal with Bellator?
Honestly, I don't even know. I think I might be like halfway through, maybe. I don't even remember. I'm just like trying to get through them at this point, Ariel.
Why is that?
Because I like to fight, Ariel.
Okay. I thought maybe
I like punching people in the face.
I know. I get it. And I feel like when they acquired Bellator in the roster, like I said, you were one of the big fish that they reeled in, and so I thought it was honestly, I thought if they were going to bring any of the Bellator guys over to the tournament, the season, that they would bring you over. Especially because you weren't tied up with a belt. Like, I can understand if they don't want to bring over, like, an Eblin or Apache, but you don't have a belt and you're a star there, so it made all the sense in the world. And but I guess, as you just said, there is no 55 tournament. There was one last year, so it's not like they haven't done this in the past.
Yeah, so they just did it, you know. Maybe they're going to give the 55ers a little break. I don't know. I heard Francis is coming back. Maybe I get on a card with that dude. That'd be a big card to be on. That'd be epic.
Yes, although Don Davis told us, when was it, last week, that it's looking like September for him. I have a feeling you don't want to wait all the way to September.
No, that's a long time.
Yes.
That's a long time.
Maybe hopefully you can get on that Paris card, unless you have an issue with fighting in Paris.
No, man, Paris is sick. I've actually never been. That'd be lit.
Okay, there you go. I'm going to put in a word with Kogan and company, get you on that card.
That'd be awesome. I'm going to call him as soon as we get done there.
All right, perfect. Perfect.
I'm going to go talk my smack. I know, I'm just kidding.
And the win over Clay, I thought was one of your best recently, and also, like, to get a finish like that, a quick one at 55, it put to bed all this talk of, like, oh, should he go down? Should he stay? Like, I just thought it was like a huge weight lifted off your shoulders. Am I accurate in that assessment?
Indeed. I hadn't finished anybody in a while, you know. I actually forgot to do my backflip. It had been so long. Normally I finish people when I finish people and get a backflip in. I completely forgot about it. But it was a fun event, you know. Collard's, he's tough, you know. He's tough as hell. I hit him with a few punches and he didn't go anywhere. So I was like, yeah, I don't want to stand up with this guy. Let's take him down.
Well, great performance. Probably, other than the main event, I would say one of the most dominant performances of the night. Obviously, the Problema knockout of Ryan Bader was very, very quick. But on the Bellator side of things, your performance was one of the very best. So congrats on that. Hopefully you get on that card in May very soon. We see you back in there. And hopefully you stay safe on the slopes, my man. I get nervous when I see these things. You know, normal snowboarding, cool. backflips like that shit, like maybe we could chill out.
Hey, we're going for the X Games. I'm gonna land a double backy soon. You know what I mean?
Are you really trying to go for the X Games, or are you just saying that?
Everything I do, Ariel,
Okay,
I put my
there's a
fullest
purpose.
potential
All
to.
right, all right.
There's a purpose. I don't just do it to do it. Like,
right.
yeah, it's fun, but if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna try to do it to the best of my potential. That's just the type of person I am. I'm all in every time. You know, that there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Oh, well, no. I'm hanging out with young guys that are amateur snowboarders and my cousin's friends, and they're all young 20-year-olds, you know, 22, 23, 24. They're just shredding, dude. This is what they do. They're up in the mountains all weekend, all week and weekend. So I'll train during the week, hit the mountains on the weekend, and just enjoy myself a bit.
I love it. Well, you have earned that. Congrats on the win. Looking forward to what's next for you. Thank you for coming on as always.
Thanks. Appreciate you having me. It's always a blessing to talk with you, Arrow.
Thank you, AJ. There he is, AJ McKee. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it very much. Hey, if you like this video, give us the old thumbs up. Subscribe as well. You could get many more of these videos on the channel, so please do that. We would love you forever if you did so.